Wonderful. All right, well, good morning and welcome to the Caltrans and CTC co-sponsored 2025 ATP Symposium. I was going to say a few words before we got started, but our first speaker has to catch a plane, so I'm going to go a little bit out of order and jump back to those other cards in just a moment. So I am excited to bring up our first speaker to deliver opening remarks because much of her work is dedicated to finding efficiencies and eliminating waste in systems. And for many of you in this room, as you likely know, transportation is the single largest category of greenhouse gas emissions in the state. And so the more leaders that we have thinking at the system level, the better our chances of making real change. Please help me welcome the Director of the Institute of Transportation Studies, or ITS, Ray B. Krohn Endowed Professor of Environmental Engineering, right here at UC Davis, Alisa Kendall.
Right, thanks so much for that introduction. And I'm going to confess something, which is this is my first sort of role as director, opening one of our conferences, because I am newly minted as the director of ITS. And it's just a real pleasure to be here today and see all of the energy that you all have already brought to this symposium. And I think the wrong slides are up. Test to see whether I'm going to be cool under pressure, right? All right. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to stand over here a little bit. All right. I'm going to start us off with our land acknowledgement here at UC Davis. You are on Patwin land. We should take a moment to acknowledge the land on which we are gathered. For thousands of years, this land has been the home of the Patwin people. Today, there are 3 federally recognized Patwin tribes: Kachil-Dihi Band of Wintun Indians of the Calusa Indian Community, Quetzal-Dihi Wintun Nation, and Yocha-Dihi Wintun Nation. The Patwin people have remained committed to the stewardship of this land over many centuries. It has been cherished and protected as elders have instructed the young through generations. We are honored and grateful to be here on their traditional lands. Now it's my pleasure to tell you a little bit about ITS, or Institute of Transportation Studies here at Davis. We like to say we're the premier sustainable transportation institute, meaning that our work here is really committed to sustainable solutions for transportation. We've been around since 1991, and we are very large relative to the other ITSs out there, especially here in California. We have 4 of us. We have 60 academic and affiliated faculty. We have 100 or more affiliated graduate students. We have lots of, we have an interdisciplinary graduate program, which is really unique as well, where our students are housed in the institute and not sort of in a particular department, and that frees them up to really pursue sort of research that isn't confined by disciplinary and departmental boundaries. We also have lots of partnerships with more than 80 outside entities, and I'm sure some of those entities are here in this room, so thank you for partnering with us. And we have lots of different centers devoted to sustainable transportation. That goes from everything from improving active transportation to developing transportation solutions in emerging economies around the world. Some of our strengths include active engagement with stakeholders as well as other researchers. I think a lot of our identity is around bringing solutions to practice and having policy impact around them. We have a focus on multi and interdisciplinary solutions, and that is kind of part of our DNA as an institute that crosses many colleges and departments in our campus. And then this idea of solutions for impact. So how can we move solutions that may emerge in a research context into practice or into policy? And I think one of the great examples of that is happening through our Bicycling Plus Research Collaborative. This collaborative launched in 2019, and its research on active transportation includes building collaborations between academics, governments, advocates, and private industry. It's also home to the California Active Transportation Benefit and Cost Tool. This is one of the more notable research projects that's emerged from this collaborative. So to say a little bit more about the Active Transportation Resource Center, basically it's supporting Caltrans with administration of the ATRC in support of the ATP, or Active Transportation Program. There are a lot of acronyms, I'm realizing in my notes here. And this includes technical assistance in the form of curriculum development, online and in-person training, and leading technical and advisory meetings, as well as communication. Oops, and that was the last slide there, I suppose. I thought there was another interim slide. Okay, so I really am pleased to be here, and I'm so sorry. I wish I could meet more of you before I leave, but I have to catch a plane. I'm sorry it's not active transportation. I will be stuck in a metal tube for a few hours the rest of this morning. But with that, I'm going to hand it back to Michael, who's going to MC this event for you all.
All right. So now it's time for me to introduce myself. Hello, I'm Michael Hutnick. I'm the ATRC coordinator, and I'll be facilitating things this morning up to the breakout sessions and again tomorrow after the final breakout session. So I'm a member of the team that put this symposium together, and from all of us, we thank you. We thank you for investing your time, your money, your attention, and most importantly, your trust in us. The fact that you trust the ATRC enough to show up signals to us that we're doing work that you value as ATP applicants and implementers. And it really does mean a lot to us. Thank you so much. So a lot of people have put a lot of work into creating this event with the aim that you'll leave inspired and equipped to advance the work of making California a safer and better place to move through outside of a car, and even in a car. And this event wouldn't have been possible without the hard work and dedication of Allie Dewar-Westbrook in the green in the back. Raise a hand, Allie. She is our ATRC, oh, I'll get to her. She is our ATRC project manager at Caltrans headquarters. And then the second co-lead is Michelle Lieberman of UC Davis in the back. Thank you very much, Michelle. They've worked for months on this tirelessly, and it's been great being a team member on that because they've carried so much of it that it's been really easy and pleasant for me. And they're really good people too, so if you get a chance, chat with them. All right. We also want to thank CTC staff for their participation. That includes Anya Allenbacher, who is not able to be here today, Elika Chingizi, who's next to Ali in the back, and Jaden Gales, who is over there, hanging out next to the wall like a cool guy. All right, and then I also want to thank all of our speakers. We have an amazing lineup of speakers, and they've all dedicated a lot of time to preparing what you'll be hearing today, so thank you very, very much for them. And finally, to the UCD staff that have facilitated the smooth running of all the checking in and the food and everything else that you'll be experiencing for the rest of today. So I wanted to get to some housekeeping items. There's just a few. Throughout the symposium, we'll be asking you to use Slido on your phones. So if you don't have Slido downloaded, please do so. Do we have a Slido? I don't know. It's going to be on your app store anyway. S-L-I-D-O. And so since you will be using your phones frequently, please do ensure that they are on silent mode. And if you need to use the Wi-Fi, I'm told that you would look for UCD-guest and create an account. So there's no password. You just kind of set that up yourself and you'll be on the Wi-Fi. Item number 2 is the networking bingo cards. Did we get that at check-in, or when do we get the bingo? Okay, you should already have your networking bingo cards. Just to let you know how important that is, the winner at the end of day 2 will be getting fabulous prizes, and you can even get some little prizes throughout the day if you behave yourselves, which, by the way, you have. That was, we said, we're about to begin, and it's really important. You guys, super silent, so I really, really appreciate that. Okay, I had a joke in there about all the terms and conditions for winning the thing, but I'm not going to bore you with that. And okay, so housekeeping item number 3, you'll see QR codes posted throughout the event, and those are for you to give us feedback. So that's feedback for individual sessions. Please do that as soon as you can after the session so that your feedback is still fresh in your mind. And then do so again at the end of the event to give us overall event feedback so that we can make the next ATP Symposium, which should be in 2027, even better. Last but not least, on the housekeeping items, UC Davis is charging for parking today, so if you parked on campus, there's a couple of apps that you can use, and you need to know where you parked. There's like a code, and you put in your thing. So if you thought, oh, no big deal, big deal. I think Allie got a $90 ticket yesterday for not knowing that it was a big deal. So don't have to deal with that, please. All right. So without further ado, it's time to bring up some more of the important speakers. So that was from the last one. There we are. So next, I would like to bring up our speaker, the next speaker who understands the importance of turning research, like that being done by the likes of ITS, into policy and action at the state level. It is my honor to introduce the chair of the California Transportation Commission, Darnell Grisby.
All right, good morning. Excellent. My name is Darnell Grisby. I'm the chair of the California Transportation Commission. On behalf of the Commission, it's my pleasure to welcome you to the 2025 Active Transportation Program Seminar. I want to start by recognizing our hosts, partners, and everyone who made this event possible. Thank you, Alyssa Kendall, for the warm welcome to UC Davis. During my time serving on the Commission, I have continually been impressed by the level of interest and excitement around the Active Transportation Program. The Commission oversees the state's only dedicated source of funding for active transportation infrastructure, education, and encouragement projects. The Commission oversees the state's, like I said, only dedicated source, but we don't take this lightly. The Active Transportation Program isn't just about building infrastructure, it's also about building healthier communities, connecting people to key destinations, and building a California where walking, biking, and driving are more accessible and viable for everyone. In both metropolitan areas and rural regions, having access to safe walking, biking, and infrastructure to get to school, job centers, transit hubs, and community centers promotes healthier lifestyles, increases bike and pedestrian safety, and encourages mode shift while meeting the state's goals to reduce vehicle miles traveled and greenhouse gas emissions. Events like this symposium are so important. By bringing together active transportation experts such as yourselves, we can collectively discuss emerging trends, new technologies, and strategize on how to approach important obstacles and challenges that we all face. The Active Transportation Program Symposium creates a space to discuss important issues around active transportation outside of the program's guidelines and technical assistance workshops. Your participation today helps the future of this great program and ensures it continues to meet the needs of everyday Californians, particularly those in underserved communities. Over the next 2 days, we'll hold plenaries, workshops, breakout sessions on topics such as climate resilience, impactful non-infrastructure programs, integrating emerging technologies, how to engage both youth and elderly. Active transportation are important for our rural main streets as well. What building complete bicycle networks looks like and how to make accessible pedestrian facilities. We are here for the next 2 days to listen to keynote speakers and plenaries, attend breakout sessions, and participate in workshops. But most importantly, we hope that you will ask questions. Thank you for all your commitment to our great state and your continued partnership. Now it's my pleasure to welcome the California Transportation Commission Executive Director, Tanisha Taylor.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm Tanisha Taylor. I'm the Executive Director of the California Transportation Commission. I want to thank Alyssa Kendall for that warm welcome this morning and welcoming everyone here today to UC Davis and for hosting this event. I'd also like to thank our Caltrans partners who are co-hosting this symposium alongside us. Thank you all for being here, whether you've traveled from across the state or are joining us virtually. Your presence reflects a shared commitment to build a healthier, more connected, and equitable California. As many of you know, the California Transportation Commission's Active Transportation Program is the state's only dedicated fund source funding for walking and bicycling infrastructure projects, as well as education and encouragement programs. With over 1,200 funded projects totaling over $7.4 billion in total project costs since its inception in 2014, the program is improving the quality of life in communities throughout the state. More than 600 projects are safe routes to schools projects and programs, encouraging a healthy and active lifestyle among children and young people. Nearly 100% of active transportation program funds have gone to projects that address some of the many disparities that disadvantaged communities face, including higher rates of traffic injuries and fatalities, obesity, heart disease and asthma, other health issues caused by poor air quality, and households with no access to cars, which depend more on active modes of transportation to meet everyday needs. Over the past 7 cycles, the program has evolved and the types of projects submitted have changed. Along with continuing to fund critical infrastructure like sidewalks and intersection improvements, the program also now funds many large bicycle networks spanning several jurisdictions and extensive multi-use paths. One thing that has unfortunately remained consistent is the program's oversubscription. The need and demand for active transportation improvements in small, large, urban, and rural communities is more urgent now than ever. We see the need for new and safer, comprehensive, comfortable networks which encourage and allow Californians to leave their cars at home to connect to jobs, critical services, schools, community resources, transit, and recreational opportunities. The Active Transportation Program is more than just funding. Our program thrives on our passionate stakeholders' involvement, and thank you all for being here. These continued partnerships are valued and remain a top priority for the Commission. We collaborate with local agencies, regional transportation planning agencies, metropolitan planning organizations, tribal governments, school districts, nonprofit and advocacy organizations, as well as the general public. In preparation for each active transportation program cycle, Commission staff, our team, travels to metropolitan and rural regions throughout the state to hold guidance or technical assistance workshops and tour projects. And I encourage anyone who's applying for our program to take our team up on that. We see real success from those programs. Active transportation is about how we design our streets and prioritize safety. Our commitment to expanding community-focused engagement and ensuring Californians have equitable access to active mobility options remains strong. I would like to acknowledge and celebrate the efforts of Commission staff Alika Changizi, Anya Allenbacher, Jaden Gales, and Lori Waters, along with their colleagues at Caltrans who are indispensable, Ali Doer Westbrook, Michael Hutnick, and Michelle Lieberman for organizing today's events, for you and UC Davis for hosting us. Can we take a minute just to give them a round of applause for all of their hard work? Without the outstanding team and their hard work and their dedication to this program, we would not be here today. So in closing, thank you for joining us today at the 2025 Active Transportation Program Symposium, and I look forward to the great work that our team has done in hearing all of the presentations. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Executive Director Taylor. Really quickly before we move on, I did want to mention that there is a gray Tesla Model 3 and a white Hyundai Ioniq 6 that are both parked in spots that were reserved for a handicapped attendee for our symposium. So if anyone in the room is the owner of either of those cars, please do move them. Not gonna fall. All right. So we have a little bonus next. We've got a brief video address from an active transportation champion on Capitol Hill who earlier this year signed on to the Bicycle Commuter Act of 2025 bill, which changes the incentive structure for commuters, allowing more of them to trade personal vehicle miles for bike miles. A message from District 4 Congressman Mike Thompson. Uh-oh. We'll play it later.